All right, guys, it is moving day, and I'm sure you have a lot of questions, so let's get this video started. Hey guys, happy Sunday. I'm sure you have a lot of questions and why I have moving boxes and what exactly is happening. So, I really want to see how much my entire Funko Pop collection is worth, the PPG price, and I want to see where I'm at so far. But while I'm doing that, I'm actually going to take a lot of these Funkos behind me and I'm going to store them in my storage facility because I've been doing a lot of pre-ordering recently. I'm going to have a lot of new Funkos coming in. So because I have limited space, I only have 2 walls, that means some of them have to go. So that's what this video is about, price checking and packing up and saying goodbye to the old. So I got a lot to go through. Let's get moving. We're getting started with this wall right here. This is all non-DC and Marvel. All of those pops are over here. Here is the one that I'm mainly going to be packing up, except for my most recent purchases that are in the very front. Like all the Back to the Future pops are staying, the Johnny Lawrence, all of those. My most recent ones are going to stay, but the other ones that are behind, they're going to be packed up. It's so sad to say goodbye, but it must be done. And then I will move over to DC and Marvel. Plus, I really need to reorganize. If you guys can see this, like it's all over the place. Spider-Man Blacklight is still in the box and it's just random and I just have to fix everything. It's a mess. So that is what I am doing today. Reorganizing, pricing, packing, I'm doing everything. And yes, I'm keeping track of the prices in my unicorn notebook. Let's be honest. Would you expect anything less from me? No, you would not. So I will update you on the progress in a little bit. Okay, so I'm only a few pops in and I already have some disappointing news. Remember that video I shared with you where the Johnny Lawrence was $80? Remember this one? Well, I just rescanned it for the PPG and apparently it's down to 6. How do you go from 80 to 6? That is so disappointing. I was so excited about this, but yeah, Johnny Lawrence has now gone to $6. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Is this worth it? I don't know. I think I'm going to end up being disappointed. That's my fear. Quick update for you guys. So this is how I'm doing it. I'm just going by category of pop and then listing all the way down and how much they're worth next to it. So as you can see, the pink troll has actually gone up to 41, and this is previously from the 39 that I mentioned in the video. So that's interesting. This is how much these pops can fluctuate in value because like I mentioned, the Johnny Lawrence was 80 and it's gone down to 6. And then this one is at 41 already. So who knows? And then I recently scanned this one. This is the Rushmore 2-pack. And it is up to, sorry, I just scanned it. What is the value? 45. It's up to 45. And that was not the value when I scanned it before. It was at a lower value. So this one, this Rushmore duo is actually going up in value. So that's pretty interesting. And this is part of the reason why I'm doing this. I really am curious to see what all of these creations, these wonderful creations are worth. So man, I have a lot to do still, but I am making a pretty decent dent. So let me get back to doing that. I am completely done with the first wall. As you guys can see, these are the ones that I'm putting off to the side that I want to put back on the wall. And then these pops right here, they're very common. They're not worth very much or very little. So I'm just going to pack all of these away and put them into storage because I would rather have the ones with more value, particularly this pile right here, part of my shoes right here. But this pile of pops right here are the most valuable ones. So I put those off to the side. And then these are all the ones that I just really gravitate towards, or they're special, they're limited edition, and I just want to have these back on the wall. So I am definitely making progress. And as you can see, I added up all of my totals from all the pages that I've done, and I'm up to $1,096. So it's really going to be interesting to see how much the Marvel and DC side is worth. And do you think it's going to be more than the other side? Let me know your thoughts down below. Here is where we're at. I am completely done with this side. I packed up the ones that I don't want to keep on the wall anymore. So this is the finished product. As you guys can see, Jaws is on the bottom shelf. It's not hanging off. And then I have all of the doubles on the Jaws, which I think makes sense. And then everything else and the more expensive ones are towards the top, the collectibles, my newer ones, things like that. Now, now the focus is over here on the DC and Marvel side. I really do have to reorganize this because I've just been throwing everything everywhere. And of course, to get me through, I have a little bit of Avengers Endgame on. And here are the boxes where the old pops are going to be stored. I'm going to put these into storage. I have Big and Aladdin, the pops that really aren't worth any money, but I'm definitely going to keep them for right now. So I have 4 boxes going into storage. Man, I need to get started. Oh my God, pray for me. Well, I have completely finished my task. I am so excited. So as I previously showed you, pardon the ring light right there. I just finished filming my live. So I just left it on. So as I showed you before, this side was completely finished before I started my live, and I think it looks pretty good. Everything looks way more organized. It doesn't look all jumbled. The double packs are over on the side. It just makes sense. And then this was the really big project because I obviously have way more pops that are DC and Marvel versus the more common ones. And I just had to figure out how I wanted to put these. So I just organized everything really well. I ended up putting the big Joker, the Dark Knight Joker, in the very corner. And I loaded up the bigger boxes. What are those? The 6-inch ones, I think? Because the Joker is the 10-inch. And then the 6 inches are all on top of those. That just makes sense. Everything makes sense. Everything is with their own theme. Like all the Birds of Prey are together. They're over here. All of Birds of Prey are together. All Avengers Endgame. And then when my black lights come in, those are going on the very top, which I think will just look amazing. And then Wonder Woman, like all of them are together. They all make sense. They're all organized. And that's pretty much what I wanted to do. I wanted to reorganize everything and get everything straightened out. Plus, I got to dust everything with my pledge. So I dusted all of the Funkos and made sure everything was nice and clean and organized. And I logged everything. And now I'm going to break everything down for you. What was the least expensive? What was the most expensive? And the grand total of what this collection is worth. Now, I'm sure the first question on your mind is, Susan, how many Funko Pops do you actually own? Well, going through everything and finally counting, I have over 230 Funko Pops. I did not expect for it to be that many, but as I always say, the addiction is real. It is so real, but I don't regret it at all. It's a wonderful hobby, and eventually I'm going to sell off this collection in time, and it's great to know how much value it actually has. Now, which 3 are the most valuable and which 3 are the least valuable? Well, as you saw in the video, the Rushmore Pop, the Duo Pop for Rushmore, is my most valuable one in my collection so far with a value of $45. Runner-up is the Pink Troll at $41. And then the Christmas Vacation Duo Pop is right behind in 3rd place at $40. Now, which are the most least valuable? That is the big question. Which do you think are my most least valuable pops? In the 3rd spot is Ant-Man from Avengers Endgame with a $3 value. In the runner-up spot for least valuable is Duke Kaboom from Toy Story 4 at $2. That means, yes, I have a least valuable pop for $1. And that is Princess Jasmine from Aladdin in the disguise. Apparently, no one wants Princess Jasmine, but that is all right. I have plenty of more valuable pops. Now the big question, the big question. Well, I guess not the big question. We're almost at the big question. The second runner-up big question, which side was more valuable? Was it DC and Marvel, or was it everything else? Well, it was a close one, but in the end, DC and Marvel won out. That is my more profitable side with about 1,200, I believe, whereas the other side was at 1,096. Now, the big question, what is the grand total? What is my Funko Pop collection worth? The entire thing, all 230 pops, a little bit over. What are they worth? What are they worth? Grand total is $2,361. That is what my entire collection is worth. And you might say, well, Susan, about $10 a pop, not really that great, only a $61 profit. No, here's where you're wrong. I do have some pops that are newer that do not have a value yet on the PPG, and they came up with no answer. So once those go through, I'm sure I'm going to see my total rise. So this is why it's always great to catalog and keep track of things, because I can go back and see what they are worth. Whew, I am exhausted. Thank you so much for joining me for this crazy, eclectic, and weird video. It was kind of a mishmash of a bunch of things, but it was a big project that I wanted to get done, and I took you guys along for the ride. And it was just a great time. What can I say? But I gotta ask, what is your favorite Funko Pop that you have in your collection, and what is it worth? Have you totaled it up yet? Don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you next time.